athletes are so much better.
Yeah, agreed.
And better at other things as well. There's strengths and weaknesses across all generations. And yes, we've seen some amazing lifts in the past. But as a whole, what we're seeing right now is an increased amount of athletes that are performing at a super high level.
Yeah, better depth of talent now.
100%.
Whereas the very top level of the talent right now may not be any better than the top level 10 years ago.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, two big examples of this competition. Austrian Oak, we had 8 out of the 9, which is just crazy. And the stone shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many athletes getting reps on this stone which we've just never seen before. So the depth of standard is improving consistently. So the next competition was an interesting one, and the big standouts for me, or maybe exciting stories, Martin Zvisis on his second lift going for a PB.
It was a choice.
It was an interesting choice, and I've kind of joked with Martins about this. I'm going to say Martins was amazing all weekend, but for such an experienced athlete to go, opened on 4:11 kilos, which was a good solid opener, but then he made a humongous jump. Now he is coming back from time away from the sport. His training has not done anything ready to lift a pinwheel and deadlift. He's getting better, and I think he could have got it with a that could have got him a minimum of 3 more points. Looking at the results, I think he could have got himself like 4 or 5 more points, just with how things ended up. It was a big risk. It was kind of like just take a risk and go for a Hail Mary when you didn't really need to. If I was him, I would have tried to do a sensible sort of second lift, and then you go for the Hail Mary on the third one. That would have been the sensible lift. I'm picking on him because he is the most experienced athlete there. He's won everything. He's incredibly strong. Do not for 1 second think I'm going to put him down as an athlete. But it just shows that anyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And he came back from it really, really well. He made life hard for himself with that lift as his second lift in the deadlift.
Yeah, I mean, I was with Mitch, and obviously he had the heaviest opener. So when it was time to pick his second numbers, we had the luxury of seeing what everyone had chosen. We were shocked to see, like, we had to keep the paper to find Martins and then Trey Mitchell's second attempt. Trey's second was 991 pounds, I believe. And we looked at each other, and I was like, just stick to your plan. I wouldn't even try and worry about that. And in the end, he didn't really need to.
Sometimes you come in with a game and your A plan, obviously, is your A plan. That's kind of what you think.
Of course.
But you have to consider other options as well. And as an athlete and as coaches, we've got to decide within that moment, right, that opener didn't move as well as I wanted to. Forget about plan A, let's focus on point C. Oscar Andrade came in super strong. He, I think, ended up second.
He did.
He pushed Mitch. Mitch was like, I think Mitch's second lift was a hard lift. It wasn't
His
easy.
strap slipped as well.
He did slip, but in fact, regardless, these are players that you know in competition. Anything can happen, and who's to say the strap wouldn't slip on the third. He did enough to secure the points, but Austin definitely put him under pressure. And Lucas Hatton actually started the show very, very well, hitting a PB on the deadlift.
Now, over on the women's side of the competition, what a treat we were given. A nice little battle and Jennifer Lau and Lucy Underdown. Jennifer really pushing Lucy, and it turned out Lucy did not need to go for the third and final lift. She won it with her second. However, she wanted to really put a stamp on this event and prove and show everyone that she is the best deadlifter in the world, without question. And she lifted an incredible 701 pounds.
Not only did she lift it,
the way
she lifted it so effortlessly.
Yeah, so
Jennifer did amazing.
Onboard new hires in just 90 seconds. Fill out a few details. Rippling does the rest. Every step of onboarding is automated. Every action tailored to your new hire. Welcome to stress-free onboarding. Rippling.
There you go. Like I know I got more 10-pound small plate. I'm doing some law press today, working out. Thanks for the light. I'm gonna do some lights for myself because I like what I'm doing. Doing some log press, then I'm gonna do some farmer's carry and then kind of go from there. The goal is that honestly, I got some exercise this week that I didn't do. Let me get a camera view.
And prices you love? It's not a
He said I need to get a mic. I'm getting a mic. I'm getting a mic next week. So I got some exercise that I didn't do this week. They're my weaker exercises, and I wasn't going to do them, but she
The scrum came and actually broke the world record,
Yeah.
which is incredible. Jennifer is fantastic, keeps improving all the time. And Lucy was like,
How now?
calm down, bitch. This is my event. On the deadlift, she's on another planet.
Yeah, she really is.
And do you know what I was really impressed with was Olga. Olga decided not to get into any battles with the likes of Jennifer and Lucy. She focused, was watching what the other athletes were doing, made sure she came in and got the maximum points she felt capable of, and she took third place on the deadlift. Olga was tactically superb all contest. She was the dumbbell press. Very interesting setup on this dumbbell. 10 dumbbells out there for the athletes to choose from.
And you needed 3 or 4, don't we?
Very, very heavy. 150 pounds for the first one.
Yeah, the numbers were ambitious. I mean, people talk about this, the arms not being as heavy anymore. This was insanely heavy.
This was very, very heavy. And I mean, so many dumbbells to choose from makes it interesting as well.
Yeah, it is very
Because
simple.
they could do reps on a certain dumbbell, try and go heavy. Start with a heavier one, cut from the lighter one to the heavier. So there's lots of things to think about, because if you go too heavy and fail, you've already expended energy, then you're trying to jump down. You've seen people fail like to do anything before when these things happen. So getting that right weight first, just to get points, is vital on an event like this.
Now, Lucas Hatton, he got the 300-pound dumbbell. He was the first man to do it. Oh my goodness, it was like the strongest tricep extension I've ever seen. 'Cause
He had to use a lot of triceps.
Yeah.
Normally he doesn't need to. And he did, if you watch, he actually went and chalked a few dumbbells.
Yeah.
And one of them being one of the extremely heavy ones. So in his head, I think game plan A was to kind of get the 300 and move up to an even heavier one. I think he realised, okay, that's not there today.
Yeah.
I've had to really work hard for this. So he took the 300 for one and left it at that. Still an amazing lift, but maybe not quite what we're expecting from Lucas, that we kind of just become so accustomed to him just destroying dumbbells. Maybe the fact that he kind of PB'd on the deadlift just took a bit more out of him. There could be other issues as well, but still, I mean, 300 pounds is 300
That's
pounds.
massive.
And it did enough for him to get the joint first. The man beside of him for joint first was Mitchell Hooper, who also got the 300, but Mitch went safe, and I think he did the 280.
He did 280 first, yeah.
To secure decent points.
Yeah.
Then he went for the 300, and it was a very, very good lift.
So moving over to the women's side then, and it's probably no surprise to anyone that this was won by Inez Carrasquilla, who successfully lifted the 88 kilo dumbbell. It's not a world record, it's an arm.
Yeah, and I think no surprise, like I said, she was incredible when it comes to her, and she needed a big performance here because she did place quite low on the deadlift, so needed to secure those
weights
big
out of
points.
place. I'm trying to find weight.
Doing
Like,
what she
where
was
is it at?
consistently getting on the podium. On this event with 86 kilos, so not far behind.
It's really quite incredible when you think about that number for a woman to lift.
Well, the lightest dumbbell we saw, I mean, Jackie Olszewski came ninth, and she lifted 64 kilos, which you just pointed out to me is more than you.
It's more than I weigh.
So we moved on to stone to shoulder. Now, this stone has been used at the Arnold's a number of times now, and up until this show, very, very few people had actually managed to lift this to the shoulder.
160.
And I think the most times we've ever seen it lifted in one competition is 7, and like 5 of those reps on the tape. So really, we were excited and interested to see how it would go, because for so many of these athletes that would be their first time touching and even seeing it in person, which is a massive disadvantage, we should point out.
I mean, I want to point out as well, the night before we had the rules meeting, and there was a bit of a debate between athletes as whether we could use chalk or tachytels. And some of the athletes were getting a bit funny that, like, maybe some people wanted to use chalk, some people wanted to use tachytel. So it turned out that one athlete wanted to use chalk. The rules, because of numbers, they decided that the tachytel was an option. However, I watched a number of athletes use chalk in the warm-up and lift it, and then on the day of the competition, using the tachytel, couldn't lift it at all. So both should have been allowed, but anyway.
Especially since they're not allowed to use liquid chalk. Liquid chalk is not going to affect your tactile. It's so dry on your hands. It doesn't get onto things, does it? Well, it doesn't matter. Like, the debate is over.
But yeah, I mean, a couple of the guys in warm-up looked really good. I mean, Andrew Burton wanted to use chalk. He managed to lift it in just off the floor. I talk when I say lift it in the organisation, as did Lucas Hatton.
Yeah.
Come to the competition, both couldn't even get it off the floor.
Yeah.
So Yeah, unfortunate for those two guys.
Nick Gardner also 0. To be fair, God, he got it to his chest. He had a real fight with it.
More practice on the actual style.
Nick with one training session on that stone, I'm sure he would be repping. He's very good at sound and stuff
You
like
can
that.
see that as well. You
Yeah.
know, if you're in a training session where you have an hour to just kind of figure it out, I'm pretty sure he would start getting a number of reps in that stone. But the man of the moment was Austin Andrade.
It was such a good performance by Austin, and we should never have overlooked him. He won the Atlas Stone to Shoulder last year. He is a great stone lifter.
Very, very good stones, especially when it's heavier stones.
Yeah, definitely.
He loves a stone. Man.
Yeah. He just loves a heavy competition as well. It's really an opportunity for someone like Austin to shine. He is not a sandbag steeplechase man.
He is not.
He is a powerhouse.
He likes the power events, absolutely. To see that many athletes getting the reps, I mean, you know, what was that?
I'm working back, getting stronger.
Something crazy like that. We've never seen that before.
202 pounds on the log.
Now, I don't think the women are going to want to hear this, but I think maybe their stone needs to be heavier. The amount of reps it took to win this damn event.
202 pounds on the log.
Because the top three were incredible. But outside of the top three,
Like I said, my PR is 240,
a couple
so
of athletes didn't get any.
I'm planning
Two
to pop
athletes
this up,
didn't get
even though I haven't
two
done this in a
athletes,
while.
Melissa
I
and
need to go for
Hannah
a 210.
both did 2 reps.
Yeah.
It was our top 3 in Olga, Ines, and Angelica Jardine that just absolutely blew this event out of the water. Firstly with Olga, another podium finish. That was 3 events out of 3. She's been in the top 3. She got 6 reps, which was very, very good. Ines Carrasquillo, she also got 6 reps. But Angelica Jardine, this is one of the most impressive things I saw all weekend. She was dying.
You would be. You would
Just to get this stone up to the shoulder this many times. She did it 7 times. That 7th rep was pretty much just before the buzzer.
Yeah.
She timed it perfectly. You could see she was hurting inside.
Yeah.
And she just pushed herself to the absolute limit. It was just inspirational to sit there and watch.
A lot of guts.
Yeah, huge amount of guts, huge amount of determination, and a very deserving winner on that event. So event number 1 on day 2 was the carry and drag. And there was a lot of talk about this one.
Yeah, very highly anticipated event. Very interested in familiarisation, watching the guys with it. Very interesting, and it does make me laugh because I mentioned these two because Andrew went out first. The 2 athletes that carried it Farmer's Star are the 2 athletes coached by the man who holds the world record for carrying them Farmer's Style.
It might have been the smartest choice, but they stuck to the traditional reason that the stones are sort of a test of strength.
Yeah.
Which I'm proud of them both for trying.
Yeah, and Andrew, he was going great guns. He went down with them and decided to duck walk them the rest of the way. But they were both quick and efficient with that walk and carry up
So,
to
yeah, I'll stand by what I said before the comment. I didn't like seeing the Dillies as part of the carry in this. I think something heavier or farmers walks or something more
We'll try
traditional
again.
strongman but heavier
Yeah.
would have been more ideal in my
But not on
Yeah.
live.
It was still entertaining to watch.
I think would agree with you.